Hi everyone, it's Jade, and today I'm going to be doing something a little different. I'm actually going to be doing a manga tag video, and the reason why I haven't done one before is because I've never been tagged, and I've actually haven't been tagged by this one. This is actually Apollo Graye's manga tag that he posted a few days ago, and I really liked the questions that he did, so I decided to do a video of my own. The first question is, what is your ideal manga? And well, genre-wise, I really like adventure, sci-fi, or fantasy, and some romance in it. So to be more specific, element-wise, I like when a manga has great villains with great backstories. I think they make the story a million times better when a villain has a sort of past, or like you can sympathize with the villain. I hate when someone's just evil for no reason or they have no substance to them. I like when a villain has more to them so that I don't necessarily want them to be defeated. I kind of like rooting for the bad guy sometimes. Another element I really like is when there's a side romance in a manga. That's not to say that the whole genre is a romance manga. I just prefer when there's some love in the story. And I also really like when there's this sort of like fucked up element in the manga. So like it doesn't really have to be violence or anything. It just has to be like a shock factor that you're like, oh my god, like I never thought like this, like a manga could go this far kind of thing. So I like those kinds of elements, and that would kind of make my ideal manga. Question number 2 from the tag is, name a series you loathe and a series you love. Explain why you hate or love those series. So I don't really loathe a lot of manga series, to be honest. The only times I really loathe a manga series is when I know that it's going to be shitty based on like what type of story it is. So I really don't like harem, ecchi manga. I don't really like to read them. So I feel kind of unfair for putting this as a manga that I loathe, but I loathe Nisekoi. I actually read from I think like chapter 150 all the way until the end. I guess I enjoyed the ending, but I just really loathe harem mangas. I think they're boring. I don't even like reverse harems where it's like a girl and then a bunch of guys like that girl. And so a series that I love would have to be my favorite anime manga of life, Hunter x Hunter. It's an action-adventure, superpower shonen manga which focuses on 4 main characters, Gon, Kurapika, Killua, and Leorio. It's centralized in the world of hunters who live dangerous, adventurous lives. That's basically like the most brief summary I could ever do of it, but it's my favorite manga ever, and I think it's a masterpiece, so I would recommend that to anyone. Alright, name 3 out-of-print, non-translated manga that you want desperately. So my first one would have to be Aoharu Ride or Blue Spring Ride, and it's a shoujo manga which has comedy, drama, and slice-of-life elements, and it is 13 volumes and 53 chapters long. I'm basically saying what's on the My Anime list so I can be kind of like accurate. But there's a girl named Futaba and a guy named Ko, and they both had feelings for each other in middle school, but then something happened to the guy and he had to leave, and then when he comes back in high school, he's like a completely different person. And this is one of the first manga I ever read, and it's one of my favorites forever. It's a great romance. I don't think it's cheesy or anything. I love every part of it, and I think it's perfect, and I would recommend it if you like shoujo or you want to get into shoujo. And the second manga that should be translated, this is the Japanese name. It's called Watashi Tachi no Shiawase Najikan, which is basically Our Happy Time. And it's a 1-volume manga with 8 chapters, and it is a drama, music, romance, slice of life, psychological, seinen manga. And so there's this woman who has tried to commit suicide a couple of times, and then there's this guy who's also tried to commit suicide because he's on death row for killing 3 people. And they become sort of pen pals and write letters to each other. And it's a really short, really bittersweet manga that if it were to be released, it would only be 1 volume, so I think we should get a release, definitely. But it really makes you think, and it's really sad. I just love the way the manga makes you like look at the backstories of people and to not just judge them on something that has happened to them, but to look at all sides of the picture, and I just think it's a really good manga, so I would want that to be translated for sure. And for my third one, I wanted to say Stone Ocean, which is part 6 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but I know someday we'll eventually get that release. But my third non-translated manga that I would like translated is called Chocolat, and it is a 7-volume series, or 73 chapters long, and it's a comedy, drama, romance, slice of life seinen again. It's about this girl who lives with an ex-Yakuza boss who owns a pastry shop, and she gets to know this ex-inmate guy. There are people looking for her dad because he owes like a big debt, so they're also looking for her, so she's in danger a lot. The manga is like super funny. The art is really great, but there's also a lot of dark moments in the manga, and it's not very talked about at all, so I definitely recommend reading it online if you ever had the chance, because I'm sure we'll never get a translated copy of that. So the fourth question of this manga tag is, looking at your collection, are you happy with the current state of things? Like the amount of the manga, the series in the collection, etc. So I am happy with the amount of manga I have, which is like 300 or 400 volumes or something. I would honestly be happy with any amount I have, so long as I really like the manga volumes in my collection and the series I've collected. The only thing I'm really unhappy about is how they look, because I have only one bookshelf, so they're all kind of just stacked on each other, and in the front and the back. The shelf is also shared by all of my anime collection. You can see my background, like my TV, those are all my like movies, and then my books are on the bottom. I have more novels right there. I have just novels all over the floor. I read a lot, so I have a lot of books, but nowhere to put them, so that sucks. But yeah, back to the question, pretty much I'm happy with the state of things. And number 5, the last question is, do you plan on collecting / completing all of the manga in your collection? I do certainly plan on completing all of the manga that I have, but I'm really in no rush. If they were older series, then my attention would be brought much faster, but since they're newer, I don't really have to worry about them being out of print anytime soon. I mostly take my time with buying manga. I don't really rush to buy anything. I used to when I first started out, but now I kind of just buy as I see them. So eventually I will complete all of the series that I have. And that is everything for his manga tag. So yeah, I've done my first manga tag video, and I'm tagging anyone watching this that wants to make this video. If you're watching and you want to make it, you're tagged. Yeah, I really enjoyed the questions, so thank you, Paulo Graye, for making this, and I will link his original video in the description bar below if you want to check it out. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!